Everywhere you look, there are signs. Signs are part of our culture, so much so that they almost blend into the landscape. Signs are symbols and guide us to eat, drink, and fill up. It's a sign of our modern times. Practical, perhaps, but they're plastic. Even those who make signs for a living find them uninspiring.
Their main purpose is advertising. You ride down the road, okay, here's one, here's one, here's one. Nothing really strikes your fancy.
Imagine instead a landscape full of neon works of art. In an era gone by, signs were not just advertising. From GE to Buster Brown and Pontiac, neon signs were important symbols of a company's dedication and pride in their business. In neon's heyday from the 1920s to the 1950s, the slower pace of life allowed for art and craftsmanship to go hand in hand.
I think of these things as folk art.
Philadelphia native Len Davidson longs to see those old pieces of history burn bright again.
Where I've been taking down old signs and restoring them and preserving them and trying to put them up so people can see them again.
Scientists have been studying the properties of neon for more than 300 years. But it was not until 1910 that a Frenchman introduced the world to the first neon lamp. In 1923, two neon signs that read Packard crossed the Atlantic bound for a Los Angeles car dealership. The next generation of advertising was born.
Philadelphia has probably one of the best neon heritages in the United States because it was a major sign manufacturer. And it was a city full of mom-and-pop stores, and the store became their showpiece.
Stores with neon became familiar landmarks, like the Termite Brothers Bakery in South Philly, and that famous hot dog on 6th Street. It glowed above the Levis lunch counter for 40 years.
And it had a lot of meaning for me, because when I was a little kid, my dad used to take me there. His father took him to Levis's. I used to take my son to Levis's.
But one by one, the neons went dark. Businesses closed up shop, and the weather and time took their toll. High repair costs forced owners to replace them with cheaper plastic models.
There's a lot of old nostalgia signs that are art creations that are just gone forever.
But all are not lost. Davidson has had a lifelong fascination with neon. His passion for the old signs has kept him collecting and rebuilding as many as he can find.
I've always liked this particular logo.
He's scavenged all over North America, and he's even written a book called Vintage Neon, chronicling some 350 neon masterpieces. After Davidson restored the Levis hot dog, it found a new home atop the North Star Barn near the Art Museum. The relighting in 1994 drew 1,000 people. Signs seem to inspire that kind of loyalty. Davidson repaired this vintage bulldozer, which was custom-made for the Giles and Ransom Company in the 1940s.
It's a neon masterpiece, frankly. I had never seen anything that good.
This is our showroom.
Facility manager V. Pizzica says it was taken down for roof repair and a company move and never made it back up.
It's a landmark is what it is. So you'll never see another one like it.
For nearly a decade, he's been trying to put the sign back to work. He never gave up because he knew it was missed.
People on the turnpike called our building up, and a lot of friends that I knew called and said the sign was great. Is it the same one that was on Hunting Park Avenue? And I think it'll be up here for another 100 years.
Pizzica has never taken a vacation or a day off from work. Many in the company liken him to the faithful Caterpillar driver they finally dubbed V.
But he does a great job. He pulls his hand in, the clutch comes in, the tracks turn. He disengages the clutch, and the tracks stop. He does this all night long.
Nighttime is the best time to view this new 1947 PTC trolley atop the Trolley Car Diner on Germantown Avenue. Aptly named an outdoor neon extravaganza, it's the most difficult and expensive to make, and one of Davidson's proudest creations. There hasn't been one built here since the 1950s. Creating a neon sign is a three-step process. First, an idea develops into a full-size pattern. Then comes one of the most difficult parts, bending the glass.
It's a very long learning process, and it's all hands-on.
Then the tubes are filled and sealed, and the sign maker attaches them to a backing.
Come down an inch.
Davidson recently installed this new neon in front of Just to Travel in Bridgeport. Owner Chris Novelli loves neon too and says it's a tragedy that the old signs have not been saved.
The workmanship and the craftsmanship that's gone into some of these signs from the 20s and the 30s, it's a shame that they're not resurrected and in a neon museum somewhere.
In the 1970s, neon sign making almost became a lost art. Lenny hopes this resurgence and interest in neon continues, so this spectacular art form never fades from our landscape. Gnoza, CN8 News.